Hey, we're Whitehorse. My name is Melissa McClelland.
And I'm Luke Doucette.
And we are at Club Passim, and this is our Soundcheck.
We were putting out records under our own names for many years, but we were touring with each other, playing in each other's bands, recording on each other's records. So it definitely got to the point where we didn't want to make music without the other person. That's when we decided to form Whitehorse.
Like when we sat down and said, let's make a band, we were very clear, like, this isn't your band, it's not my band.
Yeah.
And the things that sometimes, you know, Melissa's voice will take precedent this much over mine. She's a better singer than I am. And other times, my guitar will take precedent a little bit because there's that thing is happening. But generally speaking, when we step away from a record or a live show,
Yeah.
we're always like, this is balanced, right?
Yeah.
There's not one
yeah,
person.
that's really important to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no getting out of this one. No getting out of this.
You know, this band, we just figured, okay, well, we'll get together and you'll write some songs and I'll write some songs and then we'll put a record out and we'll sing on each other's songs, but that's the way it'll go. But what we realized pretty quickly was that there was a third voice involved in this duo. And it's just the result of this the alchemy or the chemistry of two people get together and there's a bond and something new is produced that didn't exist before. So it's not just to hear my songs and hear your songs. It's like, here are these other songs. Who wrote these ones? And we're like, oh, we did.
Time is moving on. There's no marching band. Just some fuzzed out credits. Names of strangers. And a nightcap in your hand.
When you put a man and a woman together musically the way we have done, it calls up a few examples because there aren't that many. You know, you think about Gillian Welsh and David Rawlings, or you think about Emmylou Harris and Graham Parson, or Johnny and June. Those are the obvious ones.
But again, we didn't, you know, when we started Whitehorse, it wasn't because we were inspired by certain musical couples. We were simply inspired by each other and by the music we were making together.
They're busting unions in Wisconsin. We got mojitos by the pool. We got a talent for distraction, no reaction to the colic and the cruel, the sinking battleships of midnight.
When we started trying to present these songs live, we didn't just want to be a folk duo. There's nothing wrong with a folk duo, but we just didn't want to do that. We come from a background of Americana, of roots music, of country, of blues. These things are sometimes shackled by tradition, and we are trying to steal the best things that bluegrass has to offer, and steal the best things that country music has to offer, and steal the best things from Howlin' Wolf records. The way we perform live is quite unorthodox. Part of the show is we call it bluegrass, even though it's not really bluegrass. It's the two of us sort of standing around one old school condenser microphone, kind of Johnny and June style. And then the other half of the set is what we refer to as rock and roll, and it's us behind this crazy wall of too much equipment.
See over there?
Back there. And it's keyboards, and it's bass, and it's drums, and it's percussion, and it's different kinds of vocal.
Looping all these things together.
Every note that people hear at a show has come off the stage, was produced that night, right there on the stage.
And it's been interesting the last couple of years, just really wrapping our heads around it and coming up with this kind of unspoken communication between the two of us. It's almost been this new instrument that we've had to master. It's inviting people to see the process of recording something and building a song in a way that people don't usually do live.
at the end of it all, if all goes well, and sometimes there are train wrecks, but if all goes well, we end up with this sort of full band's worth of music that's just the two of us producing it. I look up to artists, many of whom would have a similarly difficult time answering a question about what kind of music they make if it weren't for the fact that they're household names. Nobody ever says, what kind of music does Neil Young play? Because it's Neil Young music. And that includes bluegrass and country and some of the heaviest rock and roll ever made.
They're digging ditches in Zuccotti. We're getting famous by the hour. All our pirates are Johnny, not Somali. Trading bad seeds for flowers. Everybody's got a ticket and a backstage pass.
When you are seeing the show live, and if you're enjoying the process and you're enjoying watching us sweat, which we do, you know, if you were to turn the volume down so it was the same volume as when you listen to music on your headphones or in your car stereo, and then if you were to turn the lights off that light the stage up, and then if you were to take the beer out of your hand, if you were to take the cute girl who's sitting 2 chairs over from you and kick her out of the room and you're sitting there by yourself, now all of a sudden it's maybe not as exciting. And it's not to say that our music relies on the bells and whistles for it to come across, it doesn't, but a live experience is very different from a recording.
Yeah. Everybody's going somewhere someday, even the mighty, they won last night. I had a dream, you were there.
The band Whitehorse now, the production that we have, the live show, we're here at Passim, and it's possible we've outgrown this room, not because we don't love it here, but because we can barely fit our gear on the stage. And so we're sort of having to figure out what are we doing and where are we going and where are things going, but it's changing really quickly, which is fun for us, watching it change, because
Keeps us on our toes.
keeps us on our toes.
Time is moving on. There's no marching band, just some fuzzed out credits, names of strangers